cheerio, bonjour, hello. Okay, I do look a little bit dirty. I'm not. It was just a busy day out there today. It was almost 70 degrees. Excuse me. At one point, I had to pull my little mail truck over, take my pants off, take my long johns off, put all my stuff back on. But that's the life of a mail carrier. Okay. Thank you all. Hit like, hit subscribe. I mean, my goodness, my channel is growing. It's crazy. I want to start by thanking Maria. Maria has agreed to be a moderator. I've actually gotten to the point where my comments are so much I can't keep up with them. And I need somebody else to keep an eye on them because, yep, sometimes the haters come after me. Okay, you guys love the animals. Here's the animals. There's Oscar. Rudy, get over here. Where are you? Rudy's the dumb one. There's Rudy. I got Rudy when my parents died. They got Rudy in, he's 14 now, around 2009 or so, something like that, as their last dog. And you know they never thought Rudy would outlive them, but he did. And my folks were in Ohio when my dad died, and then a year later my mom died. Remember, they were in a car accident. And so the animal shelter, the police gave Rudy to the animal shelter. And my brother and I drove up to Ohio the next night. And the animal shelter woman told me that most people don't keep their parents' dogs. When their parents die and they have a dog there, most people let the dog go to animal shelter. And that's what surprises me. My parents liked that dog more than they liked me at times. I mean, my mom always did. Goodness. My mother had Alzheimer's, and she had stage 112 Alzheimer's. I mean, it was bad. I believe Rudy killed her. Rudy has, I've had Rudy 2 years last Thanksgiving. Pardon me. And 2 times now, Rudy has gotten in my feet to where I've actually hit the ground. My mother was 87 or 89 pounds when she died. You know, stage 116 Alzheimer's. And I believe he got in her feet. She had fallen down. There was blood all over the house. So, remember, they lived in a little town of 600. The Morgan County Sheriff calls me to tell me my mother has died and explains it was an accident. And I said, "Sir, my mother was not a very nice person. Are you sure there wasn't foul play?" And he kind of chuckles. He's like, "No, we had the state police come in and do an investigation, and they came up with the exact same conclusion." But how cool would that be, though, if I could do my mother's case on my own channel? I mean, not cool. You know what I mean. I'll just shut up because I'm getting myself into a hole. Okay. Well, we're in lie detector. So Chris just skips right past Saturday. Tammy's going to bring him all the way back to the beginning of this weekend. But at this point, it's Friday morning, and he stays home from work. So, you know what? Excuse me a moment. I apologize. Doesn't sometimes being a human stink? So he's going to stay home from work so she can go to this Thrive event. Okay, so there's one of his vacation days that he's taking for that. So there's money out of their pocket. She had to pay for her airfare, and she had to pay for her hotel. I told you, before I was a mailman, I actually had a real career. I was an analyst at Merrill Lynch. I worked at 18th and K. I made 6 figures. I wore $400 suits to work. I thought about that with the MLM thing. You don't have to pay to have a job. And I said, well, I've had to buy work boots before. When I worked at Merrill Lynch, I actually ended up getting a Lord & Taylor charge account because I had to have a wardrobe to go to work. I'm working in a big fancy office right in 18th and K. I wore suits every single day. And no, I did not wear pantsuits, so you cannot call me Hillary Clinton. I think I owned two pantsuits. I owned a real pale green, like a real pale lime green pantsuit that I looked fucking fly in. I'll tell you that. My little butt looked great. So I don't really have a butt at all. My dad used to say, no boobs, no butt. I have no boobs, no butt. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, the weekend, she flew away. I talked to you. It's all that money they've now wasted so she can go to this Thrive event. And, excuse me, Tammy even says, is this like kind of a motivation, pump each other up thing? So even Tammy knows that this is not a business meeting. This is like the conferences that Merrill Lynch would send us to with our families. And one night I was walking around at one party and I made the comment to my husband. I said, I wonder how much this cost. And the guy turned right around and he says, this party alone was $250,000. He was the event planner and he was asking me questions about it. And $250,000 for one party? Holy God. It's like the Kardashians, who have all gigantic big butts. Wow, I'm on a tangent. That mother, she may not have 1 ounce of morals, but my goodness, her work ethic is through the freaking roof. She made all of those children famous and they have zero talent. And the big giant butt thing is disgusting. Maybe it's because I'm a boomer. It's gross. So he goes straight from Friday to Sunday pool party. Totally skips the Rockies game, which he's going to get to in a little bit. But he doesn't want her to bring it up. And when we do get to it, it's painfully obvious he didn't think about it. Because she says, who'd you go with? You almost feel sorry for him. Okay. He's done the weekend. He's skipped through it. And now they've gotten up that morning and they've had an emotional talk. And keep in mind, they just spent 5 days in North Carolina with her parents. And they texted all their problems because they wanted it to be a secret. They didn't want her parents to know they were having issues. But now Chris goes on national television and says, we had an emotional talk. So they don't want her parents to know, but he's okay for the fucking nation to know. And I happened to see that interview. I believe I saw it Tuesday night. I was up late because remember, it didn't happen. It happened on the 5 o'clock news Denver time. So that's the 8 o'clock news my time, or maybe 7 o'clock my time. For whatever reason, I was up late that night and somebody had picked up on it. You know, father searching for his daughter. And I clicked it and I saw it. And from that moment on, it was like 11:23 p.m. that Tuesday night. Chris Watts was on my freaking radar. He's justifying that Monday morning now. He's texted her a lot. And he's justifying why Shannon's ignoring him. Oh, she's got her direct sales stuff. And there's times she might not contact me. I have to tell you, I bet she never ever ignored him. I mean, she may have ignored him for a second, but she always got right back to him. She treated the man like dirt and had him follow her around and, you know, wipe her ass after she pooped. But for the most part, I'm going to say she reciprocated. When she wanted to love him, she loved him. And if you want someone to wipe your ass after you poop, you have to show them appreciation constantly. So I'm sure she did. She'd do her stupid little video on the porch in the pink shirt with her boobs hanging out going, my life changed. Oh, good God. It's hard to get serious if someone's doing that to you. I said this. He brings up the Rockies game just one quick moment. But then he goes right back to Monday morning. And he talks about, we all went over to Nate's house to see the camera. Okay, well, Chris knew they had a camera. Remember? He brought up 17 times that someone was stealing out of garages and trucks. And so he parked his camera so Nate could see it. Okay, well, that had happened 2.5 weeks prior. So 2 days and 2 weekends prior. I wonder if Chris just went to Nate and said, I had something stolen out of my truck. What can your camera see? Because I want to make sure my truck is in that angle. Nate brought him into the house. They looked at it. And that way, Monday morning when Chris is carrying everybody out and the little girls they walk through the car. Because, you know, Bella came out to the car without him knowing it. And then you see him. He goes like this and picks her up and he puts her in. So we know he knew the camera angle and he totally just got lucky. He admits that when they walked in and he's watching that video. He thought he was going to be fully busted. Do you guys watch the Behavior Panel? Love them. I love Greg Hartley. He's on Newsmax quite a bit. But I love all four boys in the Behavior Panel. Mark Bowden has a beautiful English accent. Cheerio. But they do a couple videos on Chris. And they talk about his language and that. Or his just his body language. When Chris is telling Tammy that Shannon went to a friend's house. What friends? Shannon didn't have any friends, unfortunately. Everyone she looked at for dollar signs. Her friend Amanda was not in town. Amanda's brother, unfortunately, had died. And so she and Nick flew home that day. Because remember, Nick sent Chris a text and said, "Can you run?" And Chris wrote back, "I'm not sure yet." When they're on the police cam and they're in the upstairs in the loft in their house, and Chris's phone rings and he picks it up and he says, "Hello? Oh yeah, I'm okay. Hey, have you seen Shanann?" Okay, so the person said, "Hey Chris, how you doing?" And he said, "I'm okay." He didn't say, "I'm fucked. I can't find my wife." Put yourself in that situation. Seriously. Make everything quiet for a moment and just think about it. That is what you would do. "How you doing, Meredith?" "I fucking cannot find Sal." It wouldn't be, "I'm okay." Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to get to this. I've brought it up in the past. I might lose a few of you for this. But I believe in ghosts. It's an easy way to say it. Have any of you guys heard about the stuff with Chris claims that the lights all turned on in the house that Monday night, and he didn't do it. And he talks about it. He says all the lights were on. There's on the police cam, the woman with the dog goes in the closet, and you hear that squeak toy. And I mean, the woman with the dog is, well, she's a little concerned by it as well. It's odd. I've told you the story. I lived in a house, in a little A-frame house, right on Civil War battlegrounds. And I was standing in, I had the whole basement, well, the whole bottom of the A-frame. You know, I just had a little loft with a chair up top. And I'm talking to myself out loud. And I was saying, should I wear the green dress or the pink dress? The green dress or the pink dress? When I go and I take a shower, and I come out, and the green dress is sticking out. And, you know, it's not hanging out in the middle. It had just been pulled out a little bit. And at that moment, I went, okay, I'm not alone here. And I ended up naming this spirit. I named him George. Today is George Washington's birthday. On a side note, it's not President's Day. So the federal holiday is George Washington's birthday. I named him George, and I talked to him. You know, I told you I was in the bottom of an A-frame. My room was one big room. My bed was directly across from my refrigerator. One wall of my house was the refrigerator, a counter, and a sink. And I woke up one night at 2 or 3 in the morning and my refrigerator was standing wide open. You know, both sides, wide open. Well, I hadn't gone to bed like that. That was George. Okay, if you're still watching right now, I am shocked. Hit like, hit subscribe. God bless America.